Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands as written in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. Slaves, obey your earthly masters in everything, not only when their eyes on you and to curry the favor, but with sincerity of the heart in reference of the Lord.
Oh, I don't believe it. How old are you, boy?
I ain't been on you, sir.
Pay up, gentlemen. It's dangerous, you know. Teaching them to read. That's true. That Turner was taught to read.
Nonsense. Let me show you. Boy, can you explain to me the meaning of what you just read?
No, master.
See? It's like a parrot reciting Shakespeare. Well done, Elam. Well done.
Now I have heard the groaning of the Israelites whom the Egyptians hold in slavery, and I have remembered my promise. Say unto the children of Israel, I am the Lord. And I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out from under their bondage. And I will redeem you with a stretched out arm, and ye shall know that I am the Lord.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honors, and all glories unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders and my apostles of great millstone that do indeed were well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect, the elected 1/3. Shalom. This is Brother Dawada, coming back at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And today I wanted to do a kind of like this little series, all right, that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has put the spirit upon me to do, which basically, if there's a movie or there's a TV series and they show things that are prophetic that relates to the scriptures, then I, spiritually filter it, so to speak, through the scriptures, and point out to the different prophetic things that are shown within the movie or within the clip or things like that relates to the Bible. Because a lot of these people that are set up in Hollywood, which we call Holly Weird, because there's a bunch of weirdos up there in so-called Hollywood, which that's all, that goes into all that witchcraft that they're into, So the different producers that make these movies, they have, they're not stupid, so to speak. A lot of them are Edomites, and the scriptures say that the children of this world, talking about the Edomites, are wiser than the children of light, which is whom? The Israelites, Jake. All right, because a lot of these Edomites, they know what's going on. That's why you get those Edomites that know that the mark of the beast is the RFID microchip. Why is that? Because the children of this world are wiser than the children of light, whereas the average Jake out there, they Jake is in that gross darkness, but you have certain of these Edomites that know about the Hebrew Israelites. They know about the men of the Lord that are set up, and they know that the children of Israel are these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They know that for a crystal clear fact. All right. And this series, Hell on Wheels, shows you that, when you watch it out, when you check it out, when you watch the series, they show you Judah and Gad getting along together. Why is that? Because they're both kinsfolk. They're both Israelites. All right. Particularly when you go in episode 6, when the Gadites come through, in order to make peace with Esau. Basically, when Gad came through, the Edomites were looking down on him, and the Edomite women were looking at the Gadite woman in disgust, but really it was out of jealousy, because Gad was decked out when they pulled up. Gad had their traditional garments on, and they show you when the Gadite women were together, when they were outside, there were two Jake men that approached them, and they were getting along just like that, Judah and Gad. Why is that? Because they're both the same people. They're both Israelites of their respective tribes. All right. So they showed you the unity, so to speak, between Judah and Ephraim. Why is that? All right. Or rather, Judah and Gad in this case. All right. And why is that? Well, because they know. They know. All right. It's crystal clear. And that's why this scene, which you saw at the beginning, it exists. And when you actually watch the episode 7, it actually starts off with this scene. And then after that, it goes to the intro of the actual, the intro or the little music to the actual show. And then it goes to a whole other topic. Now, if they didn't know who we were, why the hell would they even include that? Because when you watch the series, that scene looks out of place. Like, why did they throw that in there? Because the Most High made them put that in there. So you can see that, hey, you tribes out there, this Bible is for you. All right. You are the Israelites. All right. So, hey, the truth, which has been so long without fruit, is being declared now. So much so that you can't even deny it at this point. At this point, Esau is even telling you that you're the Israelites, which is exactly what you've seen within this 2-minute, 30-second clip. He's telling you that you are the biblical Israelites. All right. So enough of me talking. Let's get straight into the scriptures. Let's start off with the book of 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha, the 6th chapter. Let's actually start up at the 18th verse. And it says, let's start up. Let's start at verse 12. Now this is Ezra speaking unto the angel Uriel. All right. I beseech thee, show thy servant the end of thy tokens. What is a token? A sign. All right. In other words, show me the signs of the coming of the end of the world. All right. Show me that. I beseech thee, mean I beg you, show thy servant the end of thy tokens, whereof thou showedest me part the last night. So he answered and said unto me, stand up upon thy feet, and hear a mighty sounding voice. And it shall be as it were a great motion, but the place where thou standest shall not be moved. In other words, what? This is talking about a gigantic so-called UFO, all right, a chariot, all right, which the elder apostle Tahar broke this down a few months ago. This is dealing with the chariot, a gigantic UFO, all right. In other words, you're going to see a huge chariot in the sky, all right. And it's going to be like, it's going to seem like it's moving, but you're not going to move. And therefore, when it speaketh, which is what's that? That's the speaker system. All right. Just like we read in Revelation, the 10th chapter, So this is a gigantic ship, all right, that was over Ezra, the prophet. And therefore, when it speaketh, that's the chariot, be not afraid, for the world is of the end, and the foundation of the earth is understood. And why? Because the speech of these things trembleth and is moved, for it knoweth that the end of these things must be changed. And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood up upon my feet and hearkened, and behold, there was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. That's what? The speaker system. All right, same as it says in Revelation, the 10th chapter in the first verse. All right, so that's that speaker system. All right, that was coming out of the chariot. And it said, behold, here's the point. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. Right. And the Most High is visiting this place. 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. All right. So the Most High is visiting Esau right now. All right. Why? Because we're close to Esau's end. the end of his age, the end of his rulership. Now remember, Ezra spoke about the signs that will indicate that we're at the end of Esau's rulership. Verse 12 again, I beseech thee, show thy servant the end of thy tokens. All right. Show me, in other words, show me the signs. All right. Tell me what are the signs that I may know when the end of this rulership will be and the beginning of it that followeth. 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Meaning what? So this is Ezra speaking. In other words, when is the end of this age going to come? The end of Esau's rulership. All right. Then answered I, that'll be Esdras, and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Meaning of the ages. All right. In particular, the age of Esau. We're in Esau's age right now. So he's asking, hey, when is going to be the parting of asunder of the times, the ages? Or when shall be the end of the first? Now, what is the first? Let's go to the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter. And Lord's will, this will all link up and make sense. Genesis 25, because this is very important. Because when you read this and then you read these signs, then it clicks. It clicks because it lets you know that if we see these signs and we know who it is that's in rulership, then if these signs that indicate the end of his rulership is near, that means we got to be that much closer to Esau's downfall. All right. Genesis. Now, let's read this again. 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? And when shall be the end of the first? Let's jump. Genesis chapter 27, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord, Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua, for his wife. Who was Isaac's wife? Rebekah. Because she was barren. Because at one time she couldn't get pregnant. And Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. So she got pregnant. And the children, that's whom I was going to say, struggled together within her. So in other words, it was, like the Apostle always says, it was an MMA fight match to the death. There was probably choking each other with the umbilical cord, punching each other, kicking. It was an MMA fight, And the two, why? Because there were two opposing spirits, two opposing forces. Just like when you have light and darkness, it ain't gonna mix. Oil and water, it ain't gonna mix. Fire and water, you can't mix it. So these were two opposing spirits. One was set up to be the righteous, the other set up to be the wicked. When you read in 2 Ezra in the Sirach of the Apocrypha, the 33rd chapter, it speaks about how the Lord created all things. All right. One, and let me grab it. 2 Ezra 33. Because there is duality. The Most High is a power of balance. It tells you that in the book of Proverbs. So he created one nation to be the righteous and another to be the wicked. Let's go to the book of Sirach, the 33rd chapter. And let's hit the point. Sirach 33 and verse 15. So look upon all the works of the Most High. And what is all his works? Everything that he created. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another. What's that? Duality. You have up, you have down, you have left, you have right, you have positive, you have negative, you have water, you have fire, you have oil, you have water. All right. One thing doesn't mix with the other. You have good, you have evil. You have predator and you have prey. Everything has it and its opposite. You got the sun, you got the moon, so on and so forth. So the Most High created duality. Likewise with these two children that were in the womb, one nation was the righteous and the other was set up to be the wicked. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, because why? Oil and water don't mix. These were two opposing spirits. One was a righteous spirit, the other was the wicked. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua, meaning by a prophet. All right. And Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other. We already know that's Jacob. He was stronger than Esau. Jacob is stronger than Esau mentally, physically, spiritually. How do you think Jacob went through slavery? brutal, hardcore chattel slavery. Jake went through that. You think Esau? See, when these Edomites get put into captivity, I don't even know how they, like the apostles always say, how are they even going to make it past the first day? They're going to be catching so much hell, you know? So, hey, Esau, he has a lot to pay for, you know? So the one people shall be stronger than the other. That's Jacob. And the elder shall serve the younger. Who is the elder? Esau. Who is the younger? Jacob. Ya'ikwab in Hebrew, which means supplanter. And when her, meaning Rebekah, days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Right? Now here's the point. Let me read 2 Ezra 6 and 7 again. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first? Genesis 25 and verse 25. And the first came out red all over, like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. That's the first. The first is what? Esau's rulership, Esau's kingdom. All right. So when Ezra said, when shall be the end of the first, meaning the end of Esau's rulership, he's the first that came out of Rebekah. All right. That's talking about Esau. And the first came out red all over. Yeah, meaning he lacked pigmentation, because everyone else on the face of the planet Earth at this point had pigmentation. All right. Various shades of brown. Whereas this child came out and he was red all over. In other words, he didn't have his pigmentation. That's why Isaac exclaimed, Ishashwa, meaning wasted away is he. That's what Esau means in the Hebrew. All right. Esau is Ishashwa, meaning wasted away is he. What was wasted away on this child? His pigmentation. That's why you can have two so-called, and they can be very dark-skinned, two very dark-skinned so-called black people get together, a man and a woman, and give birth to a child that looks pale, you know, white. And then they'll have another one that's black, you know. So why is that dynamic there? There's a famous Nigerian couple that had that dynamic take place. One looked like a so-called white baby, another one looked black. And Lord's will, if I remember, I'll put the clip for you right here. All right. So that's the same thing that happened here. Isaac went into Rebekah, got her pregnant. There were twins. The first came out without pigmentation. The second one came out normal. How do we know that the second came out normal? The second being Jacob, because when Jacob came out, the next verse when it describes Jacob coming out, it doesn't describe how he looks, because he looked normal, which is normal as what? Various shades of brown. And the first came out red all over, like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, that'd be Jacob, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 60, score is 20, so 3 times 20 is 60. So he was 60 years old when she bare them. All right. So now, let's go back. 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, the end of Esau's rulership, and the beginning of it that followeth? What is it that followeth? The rulership of Jacob, which is the kingdom of heaven. All right, which that's going to be spearheaded by our Lord Yahushai, which Yahushai, he's a Judite, which Judah is the head tribe of the nation of Israel. So once Esau's rulership falls, the kingdom of heaven will be ushered in. How do we prove that? Well, the very next verse. The very next 2 verses prove that. And he said unto me, that'll be the angel, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, which we just read, right? Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, which we just read, which is symbolic of what? It symbolizes that Jacob will take down Esau. Esau will get taken down. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world. For Esau is the end of the world. World meaning, going back to the word aeon, meaning age. Esau is the end of the age. All right. In other words, Esau, Edom, he's the one that's in the power seat right now. For Esau is the end of the world. Esau is the last ruler to rule upon the face of the planet Earth before Yahushai, all right? And by default, the rest of the nation of Israel gets the power seat. Because the Lord said in the book of Sirach, the 10th chapter and the 4th verse, that he will set up. Well, the scriptures say that the power of the earth is within the hand of Yahweh, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Who is that one that is profitable? The nation of Israel, beginning with our Lord Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh Shai, all right, and his people, the Israelites, will rule, because there's an unprofitable ruler ruling at this time right now, which is Esau, the so-called white man. So once this guy goes down, once Esau falls, once he goes down, Jacob comes up. All right, and there's some key signs that will serve as being tokens or signs that Esau's age is about to come to a speeding halt, and his kingdom will fall, and Jacob's kingdom will rise. All right, just as much as when there's a forest fire, the trees get burnt, but then after them trees get burnt, new life springs up. You know, so once his kingdom gets burnt, then the new kingdom will thrive. The new kingdom will arise. The new kingdom will spring up, which is the kingdom of our Lord Yahweh Shai, the kingdom of heaven. For Esau is the end of the world. Esau, he's in power right now. He's the one that's in the rulership seat. And Jacob, which Jacob's name was later changed to Israel, all right, the Israelites, is the beginning of it that followeth. What is it that followeth? That's the kingdom of heaven. So once Esau's kingdom goes down, the kingdom of Jacob will rise, the kingdom of heaven. All right. So it says, verse 10, the hand of man is betwixt the hand. Let me read that again. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. In other words, the angel told him it's all about Jacob and Esau. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Right? The hand of man is betwixt. Another word for betwixt is between. All right, let me look this up in the conventional dictionary. And betwixt means between two people or things. In this case, the two people is what? Jacob and Esau. So it says the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. In other words, it's all about, the angel told him it's all about Jacob and Esau. All right. So once Esau's kingdom falls, the kingdom of Jacob will rise. So now let's continue on. The hand of man is betwixt the hand and the heel. It's all about Jacob and Esau. Other question, Esdras, asked thou not? And I answered then and said, O Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that bearest rule, if I have found favor in thy sight, I beseech thee, show thy servant the end of thy tokens, whereof thou showedest me part the last night. Show me the signs that will indicate the end of this age, the end of Esau's rulership. So now let's hop down. Let's see. Let's hop down to verse 18. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, which that's Esau, right? That's talking about these devils. And when the affliction of Zion, what is Zion? To Zion, the Hebrew, meaning memorial. What's the memorial or the monument of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai? His people, the Israelites, the nation of Israel. They are the Zion of the Lord, the monument, the memorial of the Most High. All right. So it says that when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, meaning what? Zion being the Israelites, right? So we're being afflicted, all right, even unto this day, all right? So we're at the end of our affliction. Therefore, Esau is getting ready to catch his affliction. That's the parable of the rich man and Lazarus, Luke the 16th chapter, which is an excellent chapter, all right? The parable of the rich man being these international bankers, all right? These rich, super elite Edomites, the super rich, and Lazarus being the nation of Israel. All right? Because at first, Lazarus was doing bad, but then the roles switched. Lazarus was doing bad, Esau was doing good, and then the end, Esau was doing bad, and Lazarus was doing good, which is Jacob and Esau. All right? So it all links up. And we'll begin to make inquisition of them what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. And when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, All right. When the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin, here's the point, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished. What world? World meaning age, specifically Esau's age. When the world, or Esau's age of rulership, his period of uninterrupted rule, that shall begin to vanish away, meaning when Esau's coming to the waning parts, all right, the waning parts of his time to rule, okay, when he's coming to the last few moments of his rulership, shall be finished, meaning what? The end of his world, the end of his age, the end of his rulership. So when Esau's coming to the last few moments of his rulership, then will I show these tokens, meaning the Lord's going to show these signs, all right? And you're going to be able to see these signs, which indicates that Esau's close, very, 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 very close to his end. Then will I show these tokens. The books shall be open before the firmament. What books? The books of the Bible shall be open before the firmament. Because what's up there in the firmament? You have satellites, which once again, the signals go from the ground satellites all the way up to the signals up there with the, or rather goes up to the satellites up there within the firmament, which is also known as the ozone layer. And from there, it gets beamed out throughout the four corners of the earth, hence the World Wide Web. And anyone with access to a smartphone, you know, access to a computer, access to a laptop, so on and so forth, they can all hop on the internet and they can see this word being taught. The books shall be open before the firmament. Okay? And they shall see all together. Yeah, because everyone has access to see this truth being taught by way of hopping on the internet. So this internet being set up is a token, it's a sign, all right, that we're close to Esau's demise. Because so this is one of the signs that we would be seeing, all right, that'll indicate that he's on his way out of here. You know? So even as I'm doing this lesson, you're able to see it on the internet, you know, and this is important for this word reaching the four corners of the earth. All right. So let's hop down to verse 25. Whosoever remaineth from all these things that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation in the end of your world. Which world? The end of this age, Esau's rulership. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape from what? The destruction, and see my salvation in the end of your world, the end of Esau's age. And the men that are received shall see it. That's the ones given to Yahushua, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning. Meaning what? This truth will come out, all right? This truth, this knowledge, this 100% truth of the Bible, all right, is going to get out there, all right? And what is it doing? The perception, our perception is being changed, all right? It's being changed. So all them different lies that we were taught, oh, you're black, you're Hispanic, you're Native American, oh, American dream, all that nonsense has getting tossed out the window through the teaching of this knowledge, this truth, all right? And now we look at everything differently. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched, which that's happening now. As for faith, here's the point. As for faith, it shall flourish. That's happening now. You see these different camps springing up, different brothers waking up. Brothers are waking up all throughout the four corners of the earth. And the main thing that's allowing us to do so, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the main thing that's allowing the different brothers and sisters to wake up, all right, the things that allowed us to wake up, you know, mainly was what? The internet, you know. That's how you were able to, popped up on your phone out of nowhere when you clicked it. Well, that's through the internet, which the Most High Yahweh set up. All right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua set that up. As for faith, it shall flourish. That's happening now. All right. Corruption shall be overcome. Yeah, these lies, these strongholds are being broken up. All right. Oh, the Most High is white. Oh no, that's getting broke up now. Oh, you're Negroes. Oh, that's getting broke up. Even by you seeing that clip that I showed on the screen at the beginning of the video. That's getting broke up now. The truth is coming out, which is going to say, and the truth The truth of what? Of the Bible. The 100% truth. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Bible. The truth which hath been so long without fruit shall be declared. Read that again. That's powerful. And the truth which hath been so long without fruit shall be declared. So this truth, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is being declared right now. Strongholds are being broken down through the teaching of this truth. All right. Let's go into the word declare. Let's go into the etymology of this word. Now, this is the Entomo Online. And the word declare means to explain, interpret. What are we explaining? The scriptures. What are we interpreting? The scriptures. Make clear. All right? Make clear. Make known by words. State explicitly. Proclaim. Announce. Yeah. All right? We're breaking down these scriptures, heralding the coming of our Lord Yahushua. We're making this clear. We're revealing the mysteries of the scriptures through the spirit and power of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua. And what you have going on now is everyone knows about the Hebrew Israelites. Everyone knows about it. It's a household name, so to speak. Now when you're at the barbershop, say you got lots of hair, you're trying to get your hair braided, Jake is having normal conversations talking about the Hebrew Israelites. Oh, my cousin's an Israelite. No one in the bar, no one in the shop asks you, hey, why are you? What is it? What's the Israelite? What's that? No one says that anymore. Why? Because they all know about it. So this is a beautiful thing. This is a mass awakening that is going on now. And hey, even Esau, he's even in this short little clip, it shows you that he knows. Which him doing so is showing you that we're close to the end. We are definitely close to the end. All right. So I just want to grab a quick script. In Ezekiel 37, I won't make this too long, but I must needs grab this, Ezekiel the 37th chapter. Let's hit the point. Ezekiel 37:7. So I prophesied as I was commanded. As I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews, which this is talking about Jake waking up. Jake waking up. All right. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua power. Come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. Dead meaning dead from the neck up, so to speak. They didn't know who they were, spiritually dead. Not knowing your nationality. That's as is written, he that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain the congregation of the dead. Jake was in a dead state. But through the teaching of this word, they got the breath. The breath is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Bible. All right? The 100% truth. That's the proper breath, the right breath. All right? Because the section where it says, or rather the verse, part of the verse in verse 8, it says, but there was no breath in them. Yeah, that's those that, they know that they're Israelite, but they don't know what the mark of the beast is. The mark of the beast is sleeping with a white woman. The mark of the beast is a philosophy. The mark of the beast is Christianity. So those with the breath, right, they will know, they will have the 100% truth, in other words, right? So now, let's continue on. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua power, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. And that's what the prophets are doing by way of teaching this word onto Jake that's in a dead state. So I prophesied as he commanded me. Same thing we were commanded to do in the book of Luke. All right. I believe it's Luke, the 12th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. Let me grab the exact verse. I'm just going to call out the script. It's Luke 14:21. I'll read it real quick. So that servant came and showed his lord these things. Then the master of the house, that's Yahushai, being angry, said to his servant, that's the prophets, go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city. That's your major downtown areas, or there's major crossroads, or lots of people come through that area, right? Go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city and bring in hither the poor. And how do you bring them in? All right? You bring them in the way of teaching this word. And bring in hither the poor and the maimed and the halt and the blind. In other words, teach them this knowledge, this truth. And the poor and the maimed and the halt and the blind is the downtrodden of our people. All right? The downtrodden of our people. That's what the Lord is looking for. All right? Those that are sincere amongst his people, the nation of Israel. So now let's jump back to Ezekiel 37:10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, which that's why you're commanded to go on the streets and lanes of the city. You know, that's a Song of Solomon, the 3rd chapter. We had that individual that was seeking this truth. And he said the watchman came upon him and he found him whom his soul loveth. So in other words, they gave him this truth. That's why, how did he find it? Boy, going on to the streets and lanes of the city. The watchman is talking about the prophets. Verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath, with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Bible, came into them, the Israelites, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Jake waking up. So I mean, these different TV series that shows you that we're the Israelites. You know, they put that in there. So if there's a Jake on the opposite side is actually watching this, and he's like, oh shit, wait, what's that about? The Israelites. What's that? Looks it up, and then boom. You know, Spirit guides him into finding videos. You know, so hey, the Lord is working a mighty work now, and these, you know, it's only gonna be more things like this coming out. You know, which this came out a few years ago, but I'm actually, you know, I've seen this clip before, but I was actually watching the series, which is a lot of spiritual things you can extract from it. You know, chew the meat, spit out the bones. You know, and this is something I really, really, really wanted to touch on because hey, the truth is out there. The truth is out. The cat's out the bag, so to speak. So it ain't going to be no excuse. You can't say, I didn't know, you know, in that time. Because the Most High is making it clear now. The truth which hath been so long without fruit shall be declared. It's being made clear now. All right? So in that day when Yahushua comes back, Jay can't say, I didn't know. You know? Because the Most High, he has different rappers talking about the Israelites, different celebrities, different movie stars. It even showed us up on this little TV. This little clip from AMC, you know, Hell on Wheels. They're showing you who the Israelites are. You have a lot of different movies showing you what the mark of the beast is. You have that video game Cyberpunk 2077 that is coming out soon. That speaks about implants. All right. You have that Netflix series Biohackers, which within the first 5 minutes they show you what the mark of the beast is. He speaks about him getting an implant within his hand, and he's able to buy or sell with it. Why do you think that's all there? So, hey, the Most High, it ain't gonna be no excuse. All right. So with that, I want to give all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. Double honors, my elders, and my apostles, a very millstone that doing it well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect, the afflicted, the 1/3. With that being said, shalom unto the elect. Wa barakwa akim. Shalom.